Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to talk about automated library services. In particular, we're talking about online library card registration. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and share the slides. So today we're talking about automated library services and online library card applications in particular. I'm going to quickly go over some of the benefits that it provides. First and foremost, patrons can get a library card within minutes. They don't have to come into the library to get a card or take time out of their busy day. Patrons can get access straight away to amazing online resources, and they can also go ahead and book study rooms as well as register for online programs. Patrons, while they don't get a physical library card, they can download their barcode, which I'll show you in the email templates, how we assign patrons barcodes. They can download and sign in to the Fountaindale Public Library app with their barcode and a temporary PIN that we assign once they get approved for a library card. And we even offer applications for children 17 and under to get a library card. And these are just some of the benefits for patrons. We haven't even talked about staff benefits, about how much it also frees up staff time by offering this service. So how can your library implement it? For us, it's fairly easy. For us at Fountaindale, we use a third-party company, PatronPoint, because our integrated library system that we run on, which is Polaris, doesn't really have that capability that we're looking for when we want to create an online library card application. So we ended up going with the third party. I know different ILS can support it, so it's definitely within your worth to research that. There are other third-party companies. I believe Unique Services may have something similar as well. But let me just show you how it works on our end. Exit out of it. So this is the fountaindale.org webpage. And under the Visit tab, if you go down to get a library card and click on it, you can see we offer it's a whole page dedicated to how a patron can get a library card. Here are online applications, but if patrons aren't sure if they live within our district, they can look up their address. So, for example, they can put in the library's address, and you'll see that it'll show it where it is within our district boundaries. And there we are, smack dab in the middle. The way our library card application verifies patrons is through, as I mentioned, PatronPoint. They use something called a digital footprint to determine if a patron lives within this district boundary. And I'll show you our disclaimer at the bottom of the application. But our application is fairly simple. It asks for just an email address, name, address. Once again, we want to verify that the person's name is tied to that address. And then it asks for a couple of other things, birthday, phone number, and then their notification preference, email or phone. And then here's a disclaimer I was talking about. If a patron borrows physical materials from the library, just making sure that they know that they would be financially responsible. And then here we are talking about the authorized verification of a residency using a third-party identity service, and using that digital footprint that I mentioned. And then once they hit agree and register, there are one of three emails that a patron can get. They either get approved, or rejected, or they may already have a card within our system. So I'm going to show you those templates. So the first template, as I mentioned, the card's approved. As I mentioned before, they get assigned a barcode, which is right here. And then they get assigned a default PIN that they can go back in and change. And then for our duplicate patrons, and this happens quite frequently, patrons haven't used the library in a while, or they've forgotten that they have, or they've forgotten their library card number. they go back in and try to make another library card. So if we find it within our system, within our ILS, we will resend them the barcode and send them a link to reset their password. And throughout the emails, we are available anytime to help them by phone or through email if they have any questions. So here's the last one. The application gets rejected. If that happens, there's one or two reasons why an application can get rejected. One, they don't live within our district boundaries, as I showed you on the map earlier, or they recently moved within the district boundaries and that digital footprint hasn't had enough time to tie that person to their current address. But it's an easy fix. We just ask them to bring in their photo ID with their current address so we can finish their application. And it only takes a matter of minutes. So I also wanted to show a couple of stats. So this is from the year previous, before we had the online library card applications, to the past current year of us implementing it. So you can see that from the past, from 2020, 2021, and then 2021 to 2022, how a lot of the months show double in number. March shows almost triple in number of library card applications we received, and number of new patrons we got into our system, which is fantastic. That means our circs are going up, patrons are using the library more. It's a really good service to offer. But that's all I had for you all today. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help. And I hope you all have a wonderful day.